Big Mom has 85 children, and she's failed every single one of them. Think about that for a second. Kids who should have been loved, nurtured, and supported by their mother. Instead, they became pawns in her twisted game of building the perfect kingdom. From forced marriages to emotional blackmail, Big Mom turned what should be unconditional love into conditional control. Her children live in constant fear of disappointing her, and the psychological scars run deeper than any physical wound she could inflict. Big Mom literally sells her children like trading cards to gain political power. She treats marriage like business deals, where her kids are the currency, and has built her entire diplomatic strategy around forcing her children into marriages that benefit Totoland. She calls it building alliances, but really she's turning her own flesh and blood into human contracts. She talks about creating a paradise where everyone can be happy together, but watch what she actually does instead of listening to what she says. The moment she needs political leverage, she's ready to sacrifice any of her children's happiness without a second thought. Let's start with Pudding's engagement to Sanji. Big Mom didn't arrange this marriage because she thought Pudding and Sanji would be happy together. She planned to use her own daughter as bait in an assassination plot against the Vinsmoke family. Pudding was supposed to play the loving bride right up until the moment she put a bullet in Sanji's head. Big Mom was perfectly fine with turning her daughter into a killer and destroying any chance Pudding had at real love. But what if one of her children refuses to go along with her plans? Just ask Lola. Big Mom disowned her own daughter completely when Lola refused to marry Loki. This wasn't just some minor punishment or temporary anger. Big Mom cut ties with Lola entirely and made it clear that any of her other children who helped Lola would face the same fate. Lola had to leave Totoland and live as a pirate because she wanted to choose her own husband. These forced marriages create a cycle where Big Mom's children become extensions of her political ambitions instead of people with their own dreams and desires. They can't form genuine relationships because they never know when their mother might rip them away from someone they care about to marry them off to a stranger. Her children aren't people to her, they're resources. She created them to serve Totoland, not to live their own lives. This twisted approach to motherhood extends far beyond just arranging marriages, though. Big Mom's control reaches into every single aspect of her children's daily existence. Her devil fruit power, the soul fruit, lets her extract pieces of people's lifespans and turn those soul fragments into living creatures called homies. Every resident of Totoland has to give up months or years of their life as a tax payment, while her children are exempt from this system since they pay by obeying her, fighting her battles and serving her political schemes. She can use it on them as well. Think about what this means for a second. Your own mother can decide to shorten your life whenever she wants. The way this lifespan system works is pretty straightforward, but absolutely horrifying. Big Mom can touch someone and literally pull years off their life. Those stolen years become the raw material she uses to create her army of homies. The sun, the clouds, the trees, even the furniture in Totoland. All of it is powered by stolen life force from her subjects. This power dynamic means her children can never truly escape her influence. Even if they wanted to rebel, she could hold pieces of their souls in her hands, and they're tied to her, not just emotionally, but literally through the life force she could extract from them. Living under constant threat of soul extraction creates serious psychological trauma for all her children. They know their mother can decide their lifespan at any moment. Every conversation with her could end with them losing years of their life. This fear shapes every interaction they have with Big Mom and makes them incredibly careful about what they say or do around her. I think this devil fruit ability enables her toxic parenting style in ways that go far beyond normal emotional manipulation. Most bad parents can only threaten to kick their kids out of the house or cut off financial support. Big Mom can threaten to cut off years from their lives. She has power over life and death itself, which makes any rebellion seem pointless and dangerous. This power turns what should be motherly protection into a protection racket where Big Mom is both the threat and the solution. She creates the danger through her soul extraction and hunger episodes, then offers protection from that same danger in exchange for complete obedience. Big Mom's willingness to sacrifice her family for her vision becomes even clearer when we look at specific moments where she chose her kingdom's needs over keeping her children safe. When Big Mom gets hungry, her own children become potential casualties, and she doesn't even recognize them. Big Mom has these eating disorder episodes where she becomes an unstoppable force of destruction. During these hunger pangs, she loses all sense of reason and turns into a mindless eating machine. Her children know that when Mom gets hungry, everyone needs to either find her food or get as far away as possible, Her children must risk their lives to either feed her or hide from her during these episodes. They've learned that there's no reasoning with Big Mum when she's in one of her food-crazed states. She doesn't see them as her kids anymore. She just sees obstacles between her and whatever she's craving. The wedding cake incident shows just how dangerous these episodes can get. Big Mom was so focused on getting that wedding cake that she nearly killed multiple children while chasing Luffy around Whole Cake Island. She destroyed buildings, ships, and anything else in her path. Her own kids had to run for their lives because she couldn't tell the difference between them and her enemies. When she's in that state, family means nothing to her. I believe her children have developed serious trauma responses and survival strategies around these hunger attacks. Some of them have learned to recognize the early warning signs and immediately start preparing food or finding places to hide. Others have developed anxiety disorders because they never know when the next episode might happen. They live in constant fear that they might be in the wrong place at the wrong time when Big Mum gets hungry. During Big Mum's rampage in Sweet City, her 16th son, Charlotte Moscato, tries to stop her. As a result, her powers forcibly remove 40 years from his lifespan. Her children's well-being always comes second to maintaining Totoland's image as a paradise. Big Mum would rather let her kids get hurt than admit that her eating disorder makes her kingdom dangerous. These examples show how Big Mum consistently chooses her kingdom's needs over her children's well-being. I think her version of motherhood has created deep psychological damage that will affect her children for the rest of their lives. Big Mum built a kingdom of broken children who mistake fear for family loyalty, creating the very abandonment she once experienced. Her childhood trauma from losing Mother Carmel drove her to build Totoland as a paradise where all races could live together. But her methods turned her dream into a nightmare for her own kids. She became the abandoning parent she never wanted to be. Speaking of parents, if you're curious to learn more about Luffy's dad dragon and his supposed devil fruit powers, check out this video. As always, thank you for watching and have a nice one.